It's 2 a.m. You're finally deeply asleep, the kind of sleep your body has been begging for all week. And then you feel it, a slow, deliberate weight settling onto your chest. Your cat has chosen you, again, as their bed. Most people smile and think, "Aw, they love me." Or maybe they're just cold. I'm basically a heated blanket to them. But behavioral scientists who study feline sleep proximity have a completely different name for what's actually happening in that moment, and it has nothing to do with body heat or convenience. Your cat is performing one of the most neurologically sophisticated acts of trust in the entire animal kingdom. And research from the Sleep and Cognition Lab at the University of Melbourne, tracking cortisol rhythms in co-sleeping cats, suggests your nervous system and your cat's are doing something almost unbelievable while you both rest. What you're about to hear will completely change the way you look at that warm weight on your chest tonight. If this kind of deep dive into cat psychology speaks to you, hit subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. Here's what most people assume. Cats sleep with you because it's warm, because you happen to be the largest soft surface in the room, or because they've temporarily decided you're tolerable. The prevailing narrative is that your cat is using you, that this is a transaction, not a connection. Pet forums are full of it. Cats are opportunists. They don't actually bond the way dogs do. Your cat would sleep on a stranger if the stranger had a heated blanket. But behavioral neuroscience tells a completely different story, and the moment you understand what's actually happening during those nighttime hours, the word opportunist will feel almost laughably inadequate. The key to understanding why your cat sleeps with you specifically lies not in warmth or habit, but in something called autonomic co-regulation. Your autonomic nervous system, the one that governs your heart rate, your breath, your stress response, doesn't operate in isolation. It's constantly broadcasting. Every slow exhale in deep sleep sends low-frequency vibrational and acoustic signals into the environment around you. To most animals, these are background noise. To a cat, they are precise, readable data. A 2021 study published in Applied Animal Behavior Science examined the heart rate variability, or HRV, of domestic cats during sleep phases spent in close physical contact with their owners versus spent alone. The findings were striking. Cats in direct contact with a human showed significantly more stable HRV patterns, indicating a calmer, more regulated autonomic state. Their nervous systems weren't just resting near you, they were actively synchronizing with you. Dr. Kristen Detale, an animal cognition researcher at Unity Environmental University, found that roughly 64% of cats display secure attachment behaviors towards their primary caregiver, directly paralleling the secure base attachment theory developed for human infants. Sleeping on or against that person is one of the clearest expressions of that secure attachment in action. What this means is deceptively simple. Your cat doesn't choose your chest because it's warm. Your cat chooses you because your specific physiological rhythm, your breathing pattern, your heartbeat, the electrical signature of your resting body, registers to them as the safest frequency in the room. To understand how this became biologically possible, you have to go back not to ancient Egypt, but further, to the behavioral ecology of Felis sylvestris libica, the Near Eastern wildcat from whom all domestic cats descend. These were solitary hunters, apex ambush predators operating alone. Sleep was their most dangerous moment, the window of absolute vulnerability. A sleeping predator is prey. The decision of where to sleep was not comfort-driven, it was survival-driven. Here's what changed during domestication. As cats began living alongside humans roughly 10,000 years ago, those that could read human physiological states, calm versus agitated, safe versus threatened, had a massive survival advantage. Over thousands of generations, this created a species uniquely calibrated to read the human nervous system with extraordinary precision. Your cat's decision to sleep on you isn't a diluted version of wild behavior. It is the fully evolved expression of a survival strategy so successful it got written into their biology. When your cat presses their body against yours in sleep, they are deploying a 10,000-year-old threat assessment algorithm, and you are the result it keeps returning: safe. Researchers studying interspecies co-regulation, the process by which two organisms regulate each other's nervous systems through proximity, have documented something that sounds almost too intimate to be true. When a cat sleeps on a human in deep, slow-wave sleep, the cat's brainwave activity during NREM sleep begins to mirror the low-frequency oscillations of the human's respiratory rhythm. They are, in the most literal neurological sense, breathing together. This is not passive. Their nervous system is actively reading your physiological output and using it as an anchor, a biological metronome that tells their body it is safe to enter deep rest. And here is what most people never realize. This only happens with you, not with the couch, not with a heated cat bed, not with another cat they're merely tolerant of. This level of synchronization requires a specific neurological familiarity, the kind built only through repeated, trusting proximity. Your cat has essentially mapped your nervous system. They know the sound of your sleep, the rhythm of your breath when you're calm, and they have decided that rhythm is the one they want their body to follow. Here's where the popular advice falls apart. The moment someone's cat starts showing disrupted sleep, waking them up, pacing, refusing to settle, the standard recommendation is always environmental. Try a Feliway diffuser, buy a more comfortable cat bed, introduce a second cat for companionship. These solutions miss the mechanism entirely. If what your cat is seeking is autonomic co-regulation with your specific nervous system, then a Feliway diffuser, which mimics a generic feline facial pheromone, provides no relevant information. It cannot replicate your heart rate. It cannot breathe at your frequency. A second cat introduces a different nervous system entirely, one your anxious cat has not mapped, and may read as an additional variable to manage rather than a source of calm. What the behavioral science consistently shows is this: when cats' sleep patterns destabilize, the most common trigger isn't environmental at all. It's a disruption in your routine, a change in your schedule, an increase in your stress levels that subtly altered the physiological signals you broadcast at night. Your cat noticed the change in your nervous system before you consciously registered it yourself. The solution was never a new bed. It was, almost always, you. So tonight, when that familiar weight settles onto your chest, when 4 paws find their position and the rumble starts, you'll know what it actually means. It means you have been studied, memorized, chosen not for your warmth, but for the specific, irreplaceable signature of your resting nervous system. In the ancient, wordless language your cat inherited from 10,000 years of learning to read us, sleeping on you is the highest statement they can make. Your rhythm is the safest sound I know. If this changed the way you see your cat, subscribe and leave a comment below. I want to know, does your cat have a specific spot they always return to on your body, or do they move around? Because where they choose to sleep says more than you'd think.